Hey everybody, Duke45 here. Sorry about the long delay between videos. It's just been a little crazy over here. I'm in Arizona and we had the air conditioner go out a few times, and that just kind of makes for some stressful times that do not lend themselves to, doing G.I. Joe stuff as much. But it appears to be fixed, and I'm ready to open some toys and show you guys some action figures. So let's start with this one, the G.I. Joe Tactical Ninja Team. For G.I. Joe Retaliation, Hasbro was trying to do something to appeal to kids because kids didn't know G.I. Joe, basically. But they knew the parents did, and us guys in their 30s and some of the guys in the 40s, like, you already know G.I. Joe, you don't need anything else on there. But the word ninja was a buzzword, and you see that everywhere on the Retaliation stuff. And that was the word that was supposed to appeal to the kids that they were also trying to sell these toys to. Again, no cartoon. Renegades was over at this point. They had nothing that would hook the kids to go in store other than just something on the packaging that made it look cool. That's why you see the rock all over everything, snake eyes on stuff, and that's why the word ninja was thrown around. So you see that on the packaging, and even on the top here, this part, I don't know if you can see it properly. There you go. G.I. Joe is the world's greatest special ops fighting force with top secret ninja training from the toughest masters. Led by Ultimate Ninja Commando Roadblock, these elite heroes defend the globe from the evil forces of Cobra. That's right, Ninja Commando Roadblock. That's not how I know Roadblock at all. I'm sure that's not how any of you know Roadblock. They even gave him the Arashikage tattoo right there on the forearm, which I don't remember seeing in the movie. But I'll be honest, I haven't tried to rewatch the movie and analyze it a lot. That's another topic. Let's just, we'll stick with this here. So you see ninja on stuff. Everything was ninja. And that was the theme that they were trying to use to appeal to kids. So in this pack, it's a 3-pack. We've got Agent Mouse. He was a character from the movie, not from any other G.I. Joe media. Sergeant Airborne, which is a character, one of the earlier characters in the series. He was just known as Airborne then, and that would be Franklin Taltrey, the Franklin Taltrey character. And, of course, Snake Eyes, who is decked to the gills in gear. So a pretty good set of figures. Initially, I didn't care for the Retaliation line at all. I had seen some of the vehicles my kids had gotten, and the figures had no articulation. They were basically early Star Wars figures, and I don't know. I was irritated because G.I. Joe has always been about articulation, and I'd always been telling my kids about how great G.I. Joe was, and then I give them this, and they couldn't bend the figure's arms or knees or anything, and it was, to me, without being too negative, it was kind of an insult because that's not G.I. Joe. You put some other crap figure in there, to cut down cost, and you put G.I. Joe's name on it. So I didn't care for that, and I just stayed away from Retaliation figures for a while. But I kind of saw some of them that they had released, the Ultimate Editions, actually had pretty good articulation, good gear, and decent sculpts. So I circled back on Retaliation. I'm glad I did. The line for me, as I've started getting some of them, is pretty much, there's figures I stay away from completely, and then there are some that I actually go after. The Ultimate Flint is a great figure. Ultimate Duke, another great figure. It's basically Sightline from the 50th anniversary, but with another Channing Tatum head. Ultimate Cobra Commander, Ultimate Storm Shadow, Ultimate Roadblock. All of these figures are really good. They have all the articulation that you want, and they usually come with a lot of accessories. You can argue about paint apps and some posability and whatnot. That's fine. That's not really what I'm going to get into here. But yeah, the Retaliation line, if you gave up on it like I did, try it again. See what you can find in there, and you might be surprised. Anyway, I'm going to open this up and take a look at these and see what we have. Alright, so just cutting in here. I might need to only just cut once. Now let me just cap this X-Acto knife because I am accident prone. Alright, So, alright, it slides right out. Nothing. You'll notice no file cards on the Retaliation lineup. Right here, this is as close to a file card as you're going to get for the Retaliation figures. Another thing that I just kind of found, you know, if I'm being a grump about it, it's unacceptable. But I mean, they're toys, so I limit how mad I let myself get over action figures. So here they are, a little bit of a display in there, but it looks like this thing is taped to it. So I'm going to get the knife out again. Looks like it's taped on the top and bottom. Just going to cut through those and try and preserve the box, because I do a lot of action figure photography. Those of you who follow me on Instagram and Twitter know that. So I usually try to use or save anything that I could possibly use for some type of scene. And slide the figures over there just real quick. Yeah, I could probably use this for something. So I will put it aside and keep it. You might see it show up in one of my pictures coming up. Here are the figures. Again, Airborne, Snake Eyes, and Mouse. And this is a repelling line, this accessory right here. That is another theme that's repeated many times throughout Retaliation. Zip lines, repelling lines. It was, again, supposed to be something that kids would see on the shelves and then immediately be drawn to, not knowing what G.I. Joe was, but it having a cool gimmick. So that's what they did. Obviously, they spent a lot of money on marketing that. Here it is. Leaving the figures back there. Sorry for that scratchy noise. It's got a... not a backpack, but something that fits over the back there, and that connects to the figure on one side, and then you've got your latch for the other side. And yeah, I guess it's basically the figure slides down wherever you set it up. So you know, some people like this, some people hate this stuff. It's an extra thing. I don't, you know, it doesn't bother me. I'm not going to get mad at it. If I can find a use for it, cool. If not, I absolutely know my kids will. Princess Ninja will have this thing set up across the house in no time. Okay, it's got some of these, let's see, to show you how to remove the vest, which isn't an easy thing to do always. And then this is how to set up your repelling line. So it comes with those accessories. Let's start with Airborne. Airborne's a character I like. They just gave him it's not really a balaclava, it's more of a, you know, the name's escaping me right now as the type of specific mask this is, but, you know, it's got the mouth hole and the eye holes, which are a little different. You can assume that's probably for high altitude parachuting, parachute dropping, so there it is. When I saw this figure in the pack, because I do like Airborne, but I really hate when the faces are covered. To me, it's a lazy step, and I know, you know, they're trying to save money, and it's sad because some of my favorite characters, like Beachhead, are completely covered up. You don't really have their face unless you get one of those, you know, that one set on the modern line, the 25th anniversary one, where it came with the extra head. But even then, if you look at the pictures, that's not really a fair, you know, depiction of Beachhead. So here's Airborne. Comes with some pretty nicely sculpted gear, which is removable. Now, let's see here. Yeah, nice pack. So this can all come off of him. And one thing, there's actually nothing that clips on it that, you know, that makes it stay on him. It just sits over top. And then here's the figure. Decent. Yeah, this is decent. You know, that works. They definitely did some sculpting on there. You can see the pockets all over him. Pads made to look, you know, like a paratrooper. I'm going to try something real quick. I had intended to get this and actually put the head of Airborne, or at least what Airborne was in Rise of Cobra when he momentarily had the name of Air Raid. And yeah, I was just going to swap the head out and see if I can make a figure from him. as I look for my air raid figure. Interesting. I had put it aside so I could do this, and now it is gone. I'm going to have to check with Codemaster or Princess Ninja to see if they... Oh, nope. Found them. I have a feeling they were in here. Anyway, though. So, taking the head off just pops right off. Obviously, be careful whenever you do it. You don't want to break your G.I. Joe. So, taking the head off of the Air Raid, which is same file card name as Airborne, so I'm going to go ahead and assume he's just Airborne, Franklin Taltree, and see if the head pops on. It does. A little low, but acceptable because there's kind of a turtleneck thing going. Here with the collar, not just him in general. So this to me would I guess would probably be how I would display him, with the Air Raid head on it, Airborne head. There you go. So you can see that. So that's how I would show him. And we'll slide the pack on, and you know what? Very good. I like that. I actually like how that looks quite a bit. You know? I think that'll work. And then he comes with accessories. The next thing will be to see if this mask fits over top of them. I'm just going to slide the camera down real quick so you guys can see this a bit better. It looks like it's slid upward on me. Alright, so there we go. I like that. I'm going to cut these accessories out so I can show them to you. Swords, swords, swords. Yeah, I don't remember anything about Franklin Taltree being a ninja. I do remember the ESP stuff from the cartoon series, and little Tommy Taltree, but nothing about Franklin Taltree being a ninja commando. So, real quick here, as I move Airborne off to the side to not clutter up things. Sergeant Airborne, not to be confused with regular Airborne from Sky Patrol. So, we've got a mask, pretty standard mask that comes with the pilots and paratroopers. That's the extra head. Now, we've got some type of submachine gun. Some type of... I don't know, this is a... Yeah, I'm not sure on the type of this one, but this is another gun that it comes with. And a long sword, and just kind of a regular sword. And that's what his accessory pack comes with. So next up, let's just go to Snake Eyes. Moving straight along here. He's attached with one of the clear plastic rubber bands. Now this is the same sculpt as the Pursuit of Cobra Snake Eyes and the 50th anniversary Snake Eyes, which is regarded as possibly the best Snake Eyes of the modern era. It comes with a ton of accessories. So even though I already have this from a previous line, I was still interested in getting it because this is a pretty rad looking Snake Eyes. Even if I can't get him to stand up right away, as I've come to expect with modern G.I. Joe figures. Lean forward there, Snake Eyes. So let me get the rest of the stuff out of there. He's got another claw. Looks like we got a pistol and a backpack sheath for his swords. Another set of claws and Snake Eyes traditional Uzis. Snake Eyes loves the Uzi. There's the other claw. We got a pistol here with a hush puppy on there. You can see that. Let me move my hand out of the way. Alright, so yeah, Snake Eyes is just loaded with gear from this set. As I continue to cut away the tape holding these away from would-be criminals. And there is the backpack sheath for the sword. Swords. So this is on Snake Eyes' side. I'm starting to wonder if those swords were not meant for Airborne. They're packaged on Airborne's side, but they're not included. So maybe I've got it wrong as to who the backpack sheath is intended for. Possibly it's meant for Airborne, because Snake Eyes did not have any swords on his side. So I might be incorrect on that one, guys. Sorry if that upsets you, but they're still in the pack if you buy the whole set. So here's Snake Eyes with the silver claws. He comes with 2. And then the black arm claw, longer reaching one, comes with 2 of those too. And here are those Uzis. As the slogan went, Uzi does it. He's got some teal looking web gear on him, which I don't remember Snake Eyes ever having or wearing. I don't even remember it in the movie. But I don't mind it. You know, if I don't like it, I can obviously put it on other figures. I never mind when they give me too much in the way of accessories. I know some people, they have a kind of a rule of thumb that they only want the figure to come with everything that he can carry. Hey, if that works for you, cool. But for me, you know, whatever. I'll take whatever accessories you want to throw my way. If he can carry it, if he can't carry it, I don't care. You know, I can help other under accessoried figures with it. So I don't mind if there's more than what he can carry. It's totally cool. I can always use extra accessories as long as he has enough to carry. I would rather have, like I said, more accessories thrown my way than less. And nothing new on the figure itself. It's got all the posability, same as the Airborne figure. Ankle articulation, that sweet wrist up and down articulation. Arms bend properly. You know, the legs do bend, but they are obstructed by the web gear here. But it does have the capability for it. The head does not have much up and down motion, and by much I mean none. It does have the side to side, and obviously it'll go around in a complete circle. But it is a good looking figure. Looks like we got a little knife here, removable, right next to his right ankle. This web gear does come off, and then you're left with your more traditional looking Snake Eyes. Good figure. This was the one I wanted the least out of the set because I already have it basically. But I am happy to have it, and it's a good figure to have. So yeah, between Airborne and Snake Eyes so far, there's a lot of accessories in this pack. Let's move on to Agent Mouse, who I did like from the movie. I found him to be a fun character, and I enjoyed the little role that he had in the movie. I would have preferred to have seen him stay, and then they could have killed off that character that they called Flint, but wasn't Flint in the least. No part of that character. No, I don't blame the actor. He was just basically given the lines that he had. But no part of that, to me, said Flint. He had maybe 20 lines in the entire movie. I know it's not a spoiler alert. It's been out for 5 years, guys. So at no part of that did that remind me of Flint. I think they would have been better off just having Mouse stick around, not even calling that other guy Flint, saving it for a future movie, especially if we're getting another one here in 2020. Then they could have had Flint come out and be a total badass like he's supposed to be. Especially if you've killed off Duke now. Alright, we'll get Mouse removed from the package. But anyway, he was a good character for the movie. I enjoyed him. Even though he's not really one of your traditional G.I. Joe characters. And he is a tremendous action figure. Okay, here we go. So here's Mouse. This is not the first Mouse that I have. This is the second one. I did buy one loose because I looked at the articulation that it had, and it was great. But here you see it. Let me bring it in a little closer. So I don't recognize this head sculpt from any other figure before. It looks like it is, of course, designed after the actor who played Mouse. You know, it does move up and down. The arms, looks like we go all the way up here on the arms. It does have wrist articulation. Out and in, not quite up and down. But it does turn there. Yeah, the wrist is out and in, not up and down. So as you can see right there, the joint bends inward. Okay, double knee joint. Now this knee feels a little bit looser than the one I previously had, and not looser like it wasn't in properly, looser like the plastic that they used was a not quite as strong as the one they used on the previous mouse figure that I had. So I'll have to play around with that and see if that's the case, or has it just been sitting around in the Arizona heat a little too long. But other than that, I mean, check this thing out. This vest is removable. It's the same vest that, you know, you've seen on the Ultimate Flint. It's just different color. But you can pop it off if you are so inclined. I'm not going to do that right now, but I just want to show you that you can pop off the vest right there. He also comes with this much maligned helmet that does nothing for cool points, but does everything for saving life points. Since these are toys, I'm not too worried about him not wearing it, and I can always use it for other means if need be. Wish I could get these things to stand up a little better so you wouldn't have to keep staring at my hand. But alright, so this is the mouse figure. He comes with, looks like we got a nice rifle suitable for a marksman. And we got a submachine here. And a absolutely tiny, probably used for cutting apples knife. I don't see... This might be the smallest knife that I have seen in the G.I. Joe toy lineup. I don't know if you can see that clearly. My camera does not like to focus. But yeah, that is a tiny knife, which fits right on the back of his vest. And I might have to just bag this up and put it with, you know, accessories, or it may disappear and I will never see it again. So on my mouse figure, and I know they're not all like this because this is the second one, he does feel a little looser than I'd like him to be. Now, he's not loose to the point where he can't keep his legs, you know, if I hold him like this, they don't just flop downward. So they will stay like that, but posing him is going to be difficult unless I find a way to kind of tighten up the joints. I think probably the biggest problem is this leg right here. I'll try tightening that up and seeing if I can fix it, but overall it's a great figure. I love the sculpting on there. There's so much detail. You can see pockets, padding on there. This looks, you know, like it's true to life design here. Very realistic. I do like this figure. I did not get him to keep him as Mouse. I don't have a Mouse character in my collecting universe, but I do have several other characters who are in dire need of upgrades to their design, like Grand Slam and Flash and whatnot. So I will be using this. Every piece on this will be used for another figure. The head will be repainted, and I'll show you that as we go. But just give you a quick look. I just used another Ultimate Flint to make, you know, what I would consider my Ultimate Falcon. Right there. Because the Falcon figures were unacceptable to me. So I'm going to do a video showing you guys Falcon in a little bit, but just want to give you a quick look at him. So we'll put Mouse on the wall and hope he doesn't tip everybody over. So here's the set, guys. These are the three figures that you get. Let me push these accessories off to give you guys a look at the figures themselves. I would recommend, if you can get this, you don't want to pay more than $50 in my opinion. You know, if there's one figure I like in here, if this Mouse had been like the other one, I'd say the Mouse figure is really kind of the standout, because of how well designed it is. Many of you probably already have the Snake Eyes. The Airborne is a good figure too. I just really don't love figures that only have the ability to have a mask on their face. So it was appealing to me because I knew I was just going to change the head out. But it's a good figure. It's got a good look to it, and it's going to display well. So if you can find this in the, depending on what your budget is, of course, but anything in the 30s, go for it. It doesn't drop below 40 very often. So if you see it at like 30, 35, and you're even remotely interested on it, and that's in your budget, you probably gonna go for it, because most of the time it's hanging around the 45 to 50 mark. So anything less than that, at least at this point, is below the going rate on the secondary market. Anyway, I appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully I'm going to have quite a few videos coming your way pretty quick here. Princess Ninja has another review to come out. Codemaster has his first one to come out. I have an upcoming Project Diamondback episode to come out, and then we'll be wrapping up Project Diamondback as I start the my own ongoing episodic version of that. Project Diamondback is just my way of kind of practicing and figuring out how to make things viewable. I've been able to correct so many mistakes that I've made just by doing Project Diamondback. Technical mistakes, rather. So that's what that is for. That's just kind of my way of doing one before I start my ongoing episodic one. I appreciate you guys watching. Always happy to interact with you on Twitter. It's Duke45Toys, and Instagram, also Duke45Toys. I appreciate all the subscribers, all the feedback I've got. I'm looking forward to interacting with you guys going forward. And I'll keep doing what I can, and hopefully improve every week here. Anyway, thank you so much. Take it easy for now. And as Princess Ninja told me to say, Yo Joe.